Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Sport here on a Football Friday. And may I add, the first Football Friday since the week of the Super Bowl.
Wow, dude.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing phenomenal today. It's Friday, like you said, dude, week one. Obviously got a little taste of football last night. Had a great night, too. The gallery here went well. So stoked for today, for the weekend. Big day of shows as well for downtime. So let's freaking go, dude. Let's go.
Let's friggin' go. And I'm guessing big day's shows binge later. Anything else in the mix?
Yeah, dude. To maybe Michael Buckta's happiness, dude.
The whole.
The whole.
No, I think honestly that should be the new nickname of the show.
The whole.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, we can call it the
Right?
whole. Yeah.
I feel like Michael, I'm sure he'll see this at some point. He'll get robbed for that.
He's riled for the whole, dude.
Yeah, definitely,
yes, absolutely, dude. But
I
yeah,
feel
dude,
like-
so later on today.
Okay, so actually before I say that, timing. So that, do we have a time there for the whole or no?
Okay, obviously Michael plays it close to the chest. Double check the calendar for you people here. Where are we? Wow, I can't believe it's the 6th already, dude. How about that? 4 p.m., dude.
4 p.m. whole, 8 o'clock binge.
8 o'clock binge.
Wow. And I was going to say, I feel like I've had a special Michael Bucka edition of the whole the last couple of days with the texts.
Oh
the
my God.
commentary. Not that I was going to watch the news anyway, but I certainly don't need to now. Michael giving us the breaking news every second. And that's not Michael Theophil, but that's Michael Bucka.
We have like a little thing, like Mike and Mike in the hole sort of deal.
Mike
you know?
and Mike in the hole. I'm sure Matthew is chuckling somewhere. So what we're talking about here, because I see Josh B is in the comments. Obviously, we are going to start again the picks against the spread, DTV versus the TCA. And I just wasn't sure, too, if Josh was able to call in so we could talk over a couple of things. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but if you could let us know there. Obviously, I see him in the comments, but I feel like that would be easiest. We have a couple ideas, a rotation of who goes first. And then also we got to determine what exactly is going to be on the line this time. So there's no debate. Josh can clip the footage. So it'd be interesting to see what he says.
Yeah. And again, it's so funny. I was thinking last night, like what we did last season. I really couldn't remember it all, dude.
No.
I mean, I want to say
Was it golf?
I want to say golf. That's what I was kind of leaning towards.
Which is what I was thinking again. Obviously, we haven't had a golf outing. So I mean that would be pretty good. The only thing is it'll be like for golf, but then when the thing ends, you're gonna have to wait like 3 months till we get out there, but it'll still be cemented.
Yeah, true.
Meeting starting at 10:30.
Oh, meetings. He says meetings at 10, starting at 10.
So what about right now, Josh? Just asking. If it's too much, just let us know. But just if you had a couple right now, we're ready for you.
I mean, yeah. Even if you want to, you can just take it in the comments.
Take it in the comments as well. If
and
you
just
need to go comments, that's fine.
And we can let you guys can pick first, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
So what
and
my
alternating
idea,
picks.
Yeah, alternating picks every other week. I was going to suggest, they have the odd weeks. We have the evens. And,
evens.
The only thing there, well, I guess what it'll be. So it'll be the evens get shysted, Tony, on one week of not picking. You know what I mean? Like, since there's 17. Oh, but actually,
no.
18 weeks.
18
so okay.
weeks.
No, I was thinking
17
games. Per team. Yeah.
The bye week, dude. It gets you.
So while we wait to see what Josh has to say, let's see what else he was saying as well as everyone else.
Absolutely, dude. Let's go. You said it. Josh B. first in the comments. Morning, fam. Happy Friday. He goes, that foosball is back. Hashtag TCH Sports, hashtag DTV. Hot take Johnny in the comments, dude. First time in a long time, dude.
Here's Gianni.
Good morning, gentlemen. He says, shout out to DTV and TCA. Close game last night. Chiefs are the class of the NFL, no doubt about that. He goes, Mets now tied for the wild card. Braves lost last night. Let's go Rockies, dude. Manai on the mound versus the Reds tonight. Absolutely, Josh B. Hype for Hot Take Johnny. Hot Take Johnny says, press, dude. Let's fucking go. They say to each other, Matthew Gibbs, come on. And you know, Josh B. Definitely hyped for the whole later at 4 p.m., dude.
I honestly just figured out what that was because I couldn't see.
I guess rabbit.
Yeah, I didn't have a zoomed in shot of the rabbit, also known as
rabbit,
the hole.
Dude, the hole.
I think you're kind of riled up now for like that's going to be a thing. Like that's going to be how like it's going to be marketed. The
hole, dude.
Yeah.
The hole. Oh my gosh.
The hole with Michael Butka.
Oh God, dude. Of course, he's not here right now. You know, like if he should know the whole on 4 p.m.
We should get a segment, honestly, with Mr. Butka, like a call in, just a couple minutes, kind of catch up on current events, right?
Yeah, we may have to just like coach him. I feel like you just I don't know. He may be saying some crazy things, man. Who knows, dude?
You never know with Michael Butka. That is for sure, Tony. But while we wait on Josh here, let's go, Tony, to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Kundabailoa. Bosa again.
Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
Hey, all right. So 1 year after we saw the Kansas City Chiefs lose the opener by a measly 1 point to the Detroit Lions, they are successful. Winning here 27-20 over the Baltimore Ravens. A very exciting game. A game that was 13-10 at the half. And really till the final moments, Tony, was up for grabs, which you love to see. We'll get to
Is that Buckner texting you?
No, it wasn't. We'll get to the particulars of what exactly happened, but it was kind of ironic because I feel like it was just yesterday, and we've talked about this over the years a lot. But we were talking about how we want to see Lamar go down the field to tie or take the lead late in the game, 70 yards, making the throws, and he does. It seems like they score, and then it's overturned. So just from, and like I said, we'll rewind in a second, but just the way all that unfolded, like, do you consider it just like unlucky, like that he kind of showed that he can do that? Or is it still at the end of the day, because he did miss a throw or two leading to that it's kind of like, well, you could give whatever reason you want, but at the end of the day, he didn't come through?
Honestly, I blame him, honestly, almost entirely.
Because he missed it.
Dude,
Who was it?
Zay Flowers was wide open in the
Yes.
end zone 2 plays before the final play of the game. And also, I forget who it was who made the great grab down the sideline for like a 30-yard game, whatever it was, to put them. Was it to
Bateman?
Likely? Oh,
or no. Or what? Actually, I mean, I have it right here.
Yeah,
You're talking about right before they got to like the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it got them into the red zone.
Okay, I thought it was Bateman for some reason.
You're probably right.
Likely had a hell of a game. It was so
dude,
funny. Watching the game with Mark, he was so pissed. He has Andrew. So, like, the typical complaining about, like, somebody on your fantasy team. But it's like, I mean, Likely was good last year. So, I mean, it didn't completely surprise me maybe to this level of how he was featured. But that's how it works. You have a star tight end, and then you have a really good second tight end.
Right. And that
could be a mismatch.
Confirmed Bateman, by the way, on that catch.
Yeah, 38 yards. Right?
And it was great. But, all right, so, like, starting from that play right there, Lamar started pissing me off, dude, because it seemed like he didn't really know what to do next immediately, right? I feel like he wasted so much freaking time because he's looking at the sideline. What do we do? What do we do? Do we spike it? Do we just go? Whatever. So they finally get down there. They end up, calling a play, whatever. But those last few plays, again, yes, the like Flowers wide open, missed him. But even those couple plays like before and after leading up to that last, dude, he was taking so much time. All right. And I don't know. I feel like
there was no urgency.
There was no
Because
urgency.
He would have had another throw after this if there was more time on the
Yeah,
clock.
exactly, dude. He was just listen, I feel like, and obviously, you know, I'm not a professional quarterback, but I feel like in that instance, especially with the way Kansas City's defense is, you know, you're trying to look for a mismatch or maybe someone falling down at the line or just someone getting beat off the line, I feel like. So again, you have downs to work with. Why is he sitting in the pocket trying to like scramble around, wasting some time, whatever? Instead, you should just really like, again, at the line of scrimmage, see the defense, call the play. If nothing's going on, throw it away, you know, like live to set up another play. I feel like instead, you know, he wants to sit around, like he's kind of scrambling a little bit. I understand, you know, maybe he didn't have enough protection. But I just feel like, you know, if the play wasn't there to begin with, why are you wasting time trying to force something there? And then at the end of the day, he misses that throw to Flowers, right? Something that was there wide open, missed him. And then, you know, that the game-ending play, you know, I guess he did make the right throw there. It is unfortunate. I mean, you know, toe on the line right there. And he was out. He said it still thinks a touchdown. I mean, it wasn't a touchdown. You lost, dude. But I feel like I said, he could have done a better job, maybe a little bit more. Just seemed like he was a little bit too nervous, honestly.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I mean, you could look at this, you could look at that. But I also thought, too, I mean, sure, in the second half, he did a better job throwing, but I thought he was too run happy the first part of the game and really did not look good passing. No. I was making fun of Mark because he did some like crazy parlay and had Jackson over 275 passing yards.
Oh my gosh,
273. But it wasn't even close to start. But it's like I was like, why would you ever do that?
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, he was, again, I mean, it's Lamar. He's going to scramble a lot. I feel like I don't know. I mean, maybe you think differently, but I feel like his O-line was failing him a lot. You know, I feel like that they weren't blocking great. Yes, of course, you know, obviously Chiefs, great defense. They have tremendous rushers. But I feel like he was almost forced to run a lot of times too, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. But I just think he does kind of almost look to run sometimes, even if it's a pass play is called, that's what he's looking to do.
Do you think that they tell him to do that? You think the coaching staff is like, hey, like you have the legs, like think about running? Or
it's probably a mix.
Yeah.
But they probably want him to look through his progressions as well, you know?
Yeah, true.
But you know, I still think at the end of the day, you know, it's just I don't know if I could see him getting over the hump because, like I said, it's always something, and it seems like a blade of grass there at the end. But like I said, I mean, there was opportunities before, and I think they were fortunate that one interception that Mahomes threw kind of really, you know, put them back in this game. Otherwise, it could have been a blowout. One thing that's interesting too, they were showing the stat, and I don't know if you saw this when you were watching the game, but Justin Tucker last year was like 1 of 5 from 50 yards, and then he missed that 53-yarder his first attempt of the game. And it's like they showed he only missed 1 kick inside of 50, but it kind of seems like, you know, we've always like really without question have said he's the best kicker of all time. But maybe this is finally like a decline from
like a
Tucker.
regression year.
I mean, because that field goal, I mean, 53, that's not like you know, he has the record for the longest. So 53 is not that long this day and age, and to miss it and then to be 1 of 5 last year. I mean, do you think that's a little bit of a concern for them?
Yeah, that is. How many years ago did he make that record? Was it 3?
I think it was like 2.
2?
Because we were talking about it here.
Yeah, we were. I do remember. I remember you talking about how it's never going to get broken, and then it got broken, whatever. Yeah, maybe a couple of years. Maybe his leg is losing some muscle. Interesting, dude. But also, you said 1 of 5 last year from 50.
Yeah. I mean, that's, dude, as you would say, not good.
Not
okay,
good
so
all,
Josh going with the text.
I saw him with the picks.
You know, you think I've obviously just kidding kind of, but maybe not really. You think like, you know, he just didn't call him. I mean, he said 10:30 meetings. It's only 10:22. Like, you think like he kind of like was a little nervous? Like, thinks like, you know, they had a good run last year, but might be a different story this year.
He's shaking. He knows we're dialed in. All right. We're more knowledgeable. We come back better this year. Okay.
Do we need to text over the rules, or you think he's got one earbud in? He heard us say it. He knows it. Clip.
He's got the earbud.
So it's the golf. It's rotating every week. And I mean, what else is there to say, right? I mean, that's really it.
Good luck. That's what you have to say, dude.
But yeah, just to kind of give a overview of this game. Ravens did get the ball first and looked good on that first drive. Derrick Henry looking like he had a little pop.
Yeah,
would be
dude.
featured more, kind of his involvement in the game.
That was another
in terms of
thing,
running
dude.
the ball kind of tapered off in the second half.
Yeah, I feel like, and then maybe it's him. I don't know, but I feel like the Ravens almost picked up where they left off last season. Right? They did not. What did he have? Maybe 13 touches, I think. 10 touches.
13.
13.
Yeah.
You would imagine for someone like him, they would give him the ball more often, especially after that first drive. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And speaking of featured, I think he goes meeting prep, LOL. Yes, earpiece in, crying emoji. So he knows, we know. That's why Josh B's the best.
Exactly, dude. The meeting prep. We all know about that, dude.
But we talk about people being featured, Tony. I didn't know much about him, and as I'm not huge on college football, so there's a lot of guys that don't know. First touchdown of the game for the Chiefs, and somebody who had 2 touchdowns, dude, Xavier Worthy
right?
Looking faster than Tyreek Hill. The first touchdown was on a 21-yard run.
Yeah, it was like an end around play or something. It's so impressive.
After having really 2 straight seasons, and it's funny, 2 straight seasons where they win the Super Bowl, but nevertheless, 2 straight seasons, without Tyreek Hill. And it seemed like they kind of had lackluster receiving core. And it just seems like with the emergence of Rice, who had over 100 yards, and then having Xavier Worthy, I think this Chief offense has a chance. I mean, obviously 27 points in this one, you're not breaking any records, but just for the season as a whole, to possibly break some records. I mean, they are loaded. If you think about the skill positions, running backs, and of course having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. But I just think Xavier Worthy is going to have a massive year for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like last year, like you were saying, I mean, that was a big negative connotation. Not only not having good receivers, but not having the speed. And I mean, this guy clearly proving that Kansas City can show off some speed. And like you said, the running back Pacheco had a great touchdown as well. I don't think there's going to be any short of scoring here. I mean, Baltimore's good defense. They put 27 up. Could have been even more, too. First game of the season, they haven't hit their stride even yet. So you would anticipate, like you said, a high-octane offense coming from them, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So very impressed with Worthy. That was actually all of the touchdown scoring for the first half. You had a pair of Butker field goals from 32 and 31. And then just before the horn, Justin Tucker from 25 made this a 3-point game going into the locker room. The Chiefs scored the only points of the third quarter, an Isaiah Pacheco run from 1 yard out. And then in the fourth quarter, you had Isaiah Likely catching a 49-yard touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson. So talk about, again, someone I think, being featured a bigger role. And who knows? I mean, if he has more games like this, he could potentially take over that number 1 tight end job for Mark Andrews, which to fantasy owners, I think would be a little tough. Not Jay, who has him on his bench. But then Xavier Worthy making his mark again, Tony. 10:25 left in the fourth, the 35-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes made it 27-17. Justin Tucker from 32 out made it 27-20. And then, like we said, we had that final possession after the Chiefs were forced to punt. The Ravens, going far down the field. And when you saw that, like before, of course, what ended up transpiring at the end happened, were you thinking like, wow, like when they were right down there, like this is the time? Like, did that thought come into your mind about the Lamar down the field as it was happening?
I mean, not that big throw, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, yesterday I said like Mahomes, Kansas City scores to get up, and then with a couple minutes left, Ravens have the opportunity to score. Chiefs stop them, end of the game. So that's what I was kind of still anticipating. But I will say, I mean, the Ravens, they did come very close, I suppose. But hey, I don't know. I mean, again, I still think I put a little bit more of the responsibility on Lamar. I mean, that wide open play to Zay was just like, I don't know what he was thinking, if they just miscommunication and where he was going. But regardless, I mean, I don't know. I didn't think the Ravens had it to begin with. Did you?
No, that's why I took the Chiefs. And it just,
no, I'm saying like, at that time. Like
well,
yesterday,
at that time, as I told you, I happened to fall asleep. Long day. So it was funny. I woke up in the morning and I actually saw the score and was because I was watching the game obviously right before I fell asleep. And I was like, oh, I figured they would like score again or just like run out of the clock. And then when I woke up, I saw the score. I didn't even look into anything. And then I was listening to Boomer and Gio. And then they say that whole, and I'm like, oh my, and I looked it up on my phone. Like
Mhm.
I had no idea that it happened, and he caught the touchdown, and the foot was barely out. Like I didn't realize it was like
Crazy, dramatic.
that,
Yeah.
which is kind of nuts. But it was interesting too. I'm trying to think. Yeah. I was asking Mark and Corey yesterday, and they were kind of, saying that they think Harbaugh is a good coach, but I don't know. I just feel like though, you have a track record. You've won a Super Bowl, but how long of a leash do you get with very talented teams that loses a lot of big games? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like the same thing as his division rival Mike Tomlin, right? I mean,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
do we get to that point? Are we getting to that point?
I mean, with Harbaugh, I don't know.
But doesn't it not get a little Brian Cashman-ish?
Yeah, no, it does. It does. But I mean, I don't know. I think his track record in terms of the teams he's built is good.
Mhm.
Like, would you not argue that more of the blame does fall on Lamar? Like, I mean,
Yeah, but I just think there's something to like, you're in direction of this ship.
Right.
You know what
Of
Lamar
course.
does best. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's a special teams guy. He's not
Mhm.
even an offensive coordinator, but like you have to put these guys in the positions to win. So I don't know. I just think it's like, hard to think the owner doesn't think that they shouldn't have at least been to a Super Bowl since they won the
Right.
lone one, the 2012 season.
So if you are the owner, and let's say you do want to, at this point, hold someone accountable, it comes down to getting rid of one of them, like Harbaugh or Harbaugh
You taking a
or
page out of my
Lamar
book?
Jackson.
Harbaugh.
Who Harbaugh? Who
I
are you
think you're
taking?
doing it on purpose.
Oh yeah, I am.
Like you're just like, is it supposed to be like a shot at me because I used to say it like that? Or
I wouldn't say a shot,
But, yeah, more or
Come on,
less.
it's a hard name to pronounce. You just gotta think about it, dude.
no, you definitely say Harbaugh. If like this is like a Tony emphasis type of thing. No?
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, okay.
Who are you getting rid of at the end of the day? You have to pick one.
Well, you know what the problem is? I would say Lamar, but they just gave him all that contract extension. So
Right.
it's not gonna happen. So I guess by default, then it seems like it would be Harbaugh. Just because it's just like I said, I mean, I don't know. Like, is it to me, this just it seems very similar to Cashman. I mean, they're 3 years apart in terms of the last championship. The Ravens
Yeah.
are pretty good every year.
I know.
So I don't know. That just maybe it is Lamar. Maybe they are the whole time they've overlooked that, his passing, which is good at
Right.
times, but like not to go back to the theme of the week, but isn't necessarily great.
Would you be okay with like staying status quo with both of them and doubling down?
But you know what it is? I just see this season ending very similar to last season. I
Right.
wouldn't even be surprised, Tony, if they ended up losing in the divisional round.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. We are anticipating even a little like regression with
Yeah.
this team here. So, but I guess time will tell. I guess that drive did look okay for Lamar. I mean, he got them down there, right? So, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. We can see how the season unfolds. I mean, it's a tough week one matchup, like for the
Yeah.
Ravens too. So, I guess time will tell, but confidence is waning, dude.
And the opposite of confidence waning, I think, would be on the side of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems like they haven't missed a beat, and it's hard to like. How could you be better after you win 2 straight titles? But just with Worthy, with Rice developing, how Pacheco was running, and I know, Baltimore is a tough rush defense, so we only average 3 yards a carry, but the physicality brings. I just feel like they are better, Tony.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree, and I mean, I know Kelsey didn't have any touchdowns yesterday, but he had a couple big plays. I think there was huge like third and long conversion too for him. He found him open in the middle of the field. That other tight end too was getting in the mix.
No regret.
Yes, dude. So that was cool to see, and like you said, I mean, this is also game one for the Chiefs. Like they're gonna be, hitting their stride mid-season and being more on the same page. And who knows, what the ceiling is for Worthy here, and how they use him. I mean, Andy Reid, the genius mind behind the team here. I mean, he's gonna find a way to utilize Worthy in certain ways that other teams won't. So
and it is a first game. He is a rookie, but do you see Pro Bowl with Worthy?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I just feel like
The
anytime
speed
you
is
have
there, dude.
with
Yeah.
the speed, and then with how accurate Mahomes is, how
Yeah.
could it not work out?
No, yeah, you're totally right, dude. Anytime that guy's open, like, he's gonna be hit.
And then you do those little like tosses or shovel passes to
Yeah.
him. He's going to go to the distance on those as well.
Mhm.
The
So blocking downfield by the offensive line too, like tremendous,
yeah.
dude. So good.
Yeah. And then also too that it was a late addition. They added Samaje Perine, who's been on the Bengals, Washington before as well. I think he went to the University of Oklahoma. He had a reception for 10 yards, but just enough guy to give him a look in the backfield.
Right.
So I just feel like, they have a lot of options, and they seem well prepared for this season. It would be interesting to see going forward how teams try to, combat them. And I was just taking a quick peek here. So next week, they are going to be home against the Bengals. So really, two big games to start the season. Then the schedule gets a little easier after that for a few games anyway. At Falcons, at Chargers, home to Saints before a big matchup with the Niners. So, you look at this and it's 3 of their first 6 games are against teams that are all super contenders.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a heavy test for the Chiefs, but yeah, after week 1, you got to feel pretty confident. And also, I mean, not for nothing, dude. I mean, we didn't even see Mahomes scramble at all. He didn't even rush at all.
Right, but there's so many things that can be unlocked, and even with Worthy, he could have had more touches. He will have more touches a game. Kelsey only had 3 catches.
Right.
Pacheco is going to have 100-yard rushing games this season.
Right,
the possibilities are endless.
It's kind of crazy.
It'd be interesting to see. That's going to be a really good game against the Bengals, and we'll see what they do this weekend against the Patriots. What was an interesting stat I saw, and obviously we'll talk about this when we go over all the picks. But so the Patriots are 8.5-point underdogs, and underdogs of 6.5 points or more. Week 1 are 20 games over 500 since 2006. Isn't that crazy?
In terms of
covering the
spread. Okay, all right. I guess it's not that crazy.
It's just a big cover.
It is a big cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
you're talking about winning out.
Yeah, I thought you were winning. I was like, that's crazy.
But just kind of interesting. Doesn't change my mind on that pick at all. I think the Patriots are going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that is out there. And to look ahead for the Ravens next few weeks, home to Raiders. So that seems like the typical get right spot. And I think the sky would be falling if Minshew happened to carve him up. Jackson, couple fumbles, Pierce, Riles, you never know.
Dude, yeah.
And then at Dallas, home to Bills, at Bengals. So both teams,
going
to have some more tough games to start, and that you would imagine the schedule will taper down the stretch. But interesting enough, nevertheless, right, Tony?
Yeah, dude. That is really tough for the Ravens. I was just thinking, like, I don't know, man. The second you said Raiders, I was like, I don't know, dude. They could lose the Raiders. Like,
yeah, but I don't think so, honestly. I think the Raiders, like 7 wins is probably the max for the Raiders.
Yeah.
But interested to see how they come together. So just a format question for you. What do you think makes more sense? We are, like we said, we already have the TCA picks. Do we go through our picks, or do we do the back and forth frenzy, then make our picks and announce their picks?
That's a great question. I feel like we should do us versus TCA picks first.
Yeah, okay.
First.
So we'll announce their picks.
Yes. Yeah, you have them up, or you want me to get them?
I have them.
Yeah, I saw. Of course, Josh said all 3 of them.
So the official TCA picks here: Texans -3. And I just wanted to see too. So the Texans.
That's a good pick. Colts
are playing the Colts. Okay, so -3 on the road. Okay.
Are you keeping track of these, or should I write this down? Or
I feel like the notepad always seems to be the most organized. No.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
So yeah, Texans -3, and then the Bears host the Titans -3.5. And the New York Football Giants +1.5.
Really?
At home against Minnesota. Listen, I mean, Darnold's return to New York. But I don't know about that one, buddy. It was, what's really funny? This
Giants +1.5.
Take a guess, Mark. Like, he's your typical, Giants fan. Like a little hope. Well, defense is good, neighbors is good. Maybe Danny does something. He put $100 last night on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. Take a guess what it pays out.
$100. Does it pay out 10 grand?
15.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, dude? But I mean, like, talk about just like throwing your money away, huh?
That's what I told him. Yeah, I was like, dude, that is so delusional. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, the payout attracted me. It's like, well, yeah, the payout attracted you, but don't count on getting the payout, Mark.
I mean, yeah, dude. Of course, the payout attracted you. What the hell, dude? It was Bears, right? Bears was the other pick.
Bears, yep.
Giants, Texans. Okay, all
so
right,
all
dude.
good there,
right?
So let's walk through our options, and I think let's just agree together, kind of out loud here. You know, we don't need anything fancy. So just kind of running through the games tonight, you know, we have the first kind of Friday game that we've had to open the season in Brazil.
I don't like
Players are tight. They're talking about you can't leave the hotel room. What are we doing? That's a different story. Anyway, yeah, it is a sketchy spot. Philly is favored by 2.5. We'll probably stay away, but we'll talk about that in when we do our picks.
Yeah. We'll probably stay away, but
that's out there just so we know.
Yep.
We have Atlanta -3.5 against the Steelers. I think that's kind of a difficult one as well. I kind of have a sense there, but not positive.
I kind of like Steelers there, but
kind of, but I'm not like I don't
loving it. Okay.
Bills 6.5 against the Cards. Don't love that either.
Yeah, I don't love that.
But at the same time, though, Arizona it's not cold yet.
It's not cold.
But they had that legendary game though. I don't know if you remember. Hopkins had the Hail Mary catch.
Oh yes,
Hopkins. Yeah,
it is caught.
That was a Joe Davis spot.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Climbs the ladder.
So then, Titans, Bears, obviously they took that one. We talked about the 8.5 point spread of Bengals hosting the Patriots. It's a big number. I actually do feel really comfortable with that one. But again, we'll go back to it. We know what the math says. I get it, Tony. They took Texans Colts, so we can't take that one. The Dolphins -3.5 against Jacksonville. Kind of like that one. I mean, it's the 3 with the hook, so you always got to be careful there.
Yeah.
Panthers and Saints -4.
I kind of like that.
But then I just look at it as like, okay, we know the Panthers weren't a great team last year. Bryce Young struggled, but then again, how good were the Saints really?
Not that great. Derek Carr, you're betting on Derek Carr.
9-8. So to give 4 points they have to cover, I don't know about that. They took Vikings, Giants, Chargers hosting the Raiders. Still, it's tough, but it is the Chargers -3, so we'll think about that one. Seattle -6 hosting the Broncos. Another tough spot.
Let's go Broncos, baby.
Another tough spot there. Cleveland -2.5 hosting the Boys. Kind of interesting on that. Bucks -3.5 hosting the Commanders.
Okay.
And then the Lions hosting the Rams. Lions -4.5. So this is maybe it's just tough, Tony, too, because we haven't done football picks in a while. But
I know, right? These are all tough.
I don't feel like overconfident in anything, to be honest.
No, I don't either. Do you feel overconfident in any of the TCA picks?
So I don't like the Giants.
Yeah,
I like the Bears, but it's tough to count it. Michael, did you hear the new nickname for your show?
Oh gosh.
We were talking about it before.
Yeah.
I just kind of came to, but it's like the marketing for it is just going to be referred to as the Hole.
The Hole
just came up like one of those things we were talking about. We were talking about Michael Bucka.
Has his own segment. Mike and Mike in the Hole.
Yeah, Mike in the Hole. Tell me, I know
segment on this show.
No, down the rabbit hole.
That's why I'm saying the Hole.
The Hole.
I'm looking at Tony because he's just making a hole.
No.
I have to say, by the way, because I know how sick this guy is over here. No, I'm just kind of kidding. Maybe not. But until you said that thought did not even cross my mind at all. But
he's the sick one.
No, he's thinking that. I know.
But nevertheless, without the sick part of it, it was a good idea.
Yes. I can't do that and knowing he's
yeah, exactly.
Mike and Mike in the Hole.
Greasy bastard over there. That was a good one. Josh B will probably chop something up from that. Anyway, so it's interesting, Tony. I feel like something that stands out to me. I don't know if it's too rich for you with the hook. I kind of like the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. All right, let's hold on. Let's see here.
Josh B, by the way, live comment. I will make the graphic like I did last year. Sounds like
that.
2 girls, 1 cup. No.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's terrible.
But appreciate the graphic. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be sick. Let's freaking go, dude. Honestly, I don't know if I really love that, the Jags, but
we could put it on the back burner if you want.
I would put it on the back burner for now, because like you said, there's a lot of tough picks here. How do you feel about the boys? Cowboys, Browns, Cleveland's -2.5.
I kind of like Dallas, but you know what I like better? Yeah.
Dallas
You know
+2.5,
or
right?
what about the Bucks -3.5?
I love the Bucks
Let's
-3.5.
put that one in.
All right, let's put the Bucks down
And-
-3.5.
Okay, so Bucks -3.5, no pad.
No pad. In.
And then another thought here. You think stay away with the Pats? I feel like they're just so bad. Jacoby Brissett starting?
Oh my, they are so bad. I'd be comfortable with that, even with the stat, dude.
Yeah, fuck.
Because I feel like fuck the stat is right. Yeah, fuck that,
8.5. We're laying it on the Bengals.
Laying it, dude.
And then so the third and final here, a little tough, Tony. But so I'm just trying to think. I was almost thinking the Rams, but I don't know.
Can we pick Monday night's game?
I don't know. I forgot if we did that last year.
I think we said
no. We
yeah,
didn't.
we said no.
We didn't.
Rams Lions. I mean, great matchup.
The 4.5.
But that's going to be a tough matchup, dude. Right? They were playoff game last year.
2-point game, I think, last year.
Dude. That
but
game
I'm
was
saying
crazy.
if we get 4.5, I don't know. Just a thought.
You don't think Rams +4.5?
Just kind of a thought. I mean, you could suggest something else if you want.
Yeah. I mean, again, I still think Dolphins Jags is still in play.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I like that one better.
Okay.
I just could see the Dolphins coming out firing again this year.
Yeah, no, I think
Daniel.
so too. I don't want to touch Bears, Titans, or Bills, Cards, Steelers, Falcons, the -3.5. Those are tough numbers.
The Cowboys, you never know when they're going to lay an egg.
That's true, dude. First game, Dak, Jitter, who knows? The Browns. But, dude, Watson? Who's he throwing to?
Watson. I mean, well, they don't
have Cooper.
We were just talking. No, they do have Cooper. But
they do have Cooper.
Who else did they? We were just talking about this last night. I know they have Elijah Moore, but they got somebody else this offseason. Who is it? Go to the receivers.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yes, Judy. But I don't know. I don't want to touch that one. I think.
Yeah, you're right. I like that.
So we're gonna just do the Dolphins.
Let's do the Dolphins.
All right. So Dolphins, and that's -3.5. So official DTV picks here. You got the Dolphins -3.5. And then you have why am I blanking on this?
The Bengals
-3.5.
Oh, yeah,
and the
Bucks.
Bengals -8.5. All favorites. Does that make you nervous at all?
No, not at all. Yeah, their one dog is the Giants. All right, give me a break. I don't think I'm nervous at all that they're all favorites. That 8.5 though is seen like a pretty wide margin right now. But I think Bengals, they want to make a statement too, coming out week 1.
I know the Rams are gonna cover. I know it, but it's just I feel like it's gonna be a field goal game. But it just we already said it, so we're not gonna backtrack it. We're gonna go with that. Josh has it, the clips, he knows it, he knows his picks, ready to go. Next week we're gonna have first picks. So
yeah, that's right.
We hope that they don't try to fire off picks.
Not
early.
up in here,
dude. They're open games.
And how do you feel? I understand Josh B. We said we are gonna do alternating picks here, but he's busy. The meetings right now, all 3 picks in a row right there. I mean, is that what is that gonna is that?
We'll just do first 3 then. That's fine. So next week we get first 3. So I mean, I like that. That's fine. And I think going second, we still had some good picks here. So
yeah,
I'm excited about that. A couple comments before we do the first frenzy in quite some time in the National Football League.
That is right, dude. We have Matthew Ryan in the house, dude. Josh B says, no BS. How do you have patience for slow golfers at Josh
did it
B?
That way. Well,
interesting, dude.
I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know how that got brought up.
I think he's saying we always did that way in terms of the picks. And I don't know if he means the going first or just a 3 at a time. But like we were saying before, next week we get first dibs. But anyway, continue. What do we got?
Yes, dude. And then he says, Matthew Ryan again, the golf, hard to slow golfers all around. What the hell? He says, I shot a 93 though.
Congrats, buddy.
And then Josh B just say, yeah, we always do that way. It's what you were talking about. Matthew Ryan, Jets will dominate the 49ers. I'm sure we'll talk about it on Monday, even Sunday night probably too, but I don't know about dominate.
Yeah, that's strong. And by the way, Josh, with the cuz I'm there to enjoy the day, not rush through it.
For the golfers.
Differently though, I'm sure. I just feel
under
like
2 hours.
Does it need to be under 2 hours? But also, like, I don't care how long it takes, but can I just not have to wait?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's all I want.
I still think you're like you're looking for that under 2. You're like Ryan.
If I'm by myself, yes, because then I want to get to other things. But if we're all having a time, couple pops, different story, Tony.
Couple pops.
And he says rotating 3 at a time.
Correct, dude. All right.
But it is. Also, before we do the frenzy, I forgot. you do your prediction too, or no?
We didn't do that in the past.
We didn't do that in the past. Do we do it now, or are you going to run out of steam in terms of the vocals?
No, probably not. Well, I guess we're doing the baseball frenzy too, but also like because we didn't like do like a pick segment for football, right? Where it's like me versus
frenzy.
you. We just did our picks, I think, right?
Yeah.
No, I think I made picks in the past. Yeah.
Okay, so just you're going to introduce
why not? And I'll
say
pick the
what
picks.
You're gonna say.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
it is time for a full-on, unabbreviated football frenzy.
Let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. First of the year. Let's make it a good one, Brian. So starting off here early and often, you know the deal. 1 p.m. Sorry, so tonight's game. My bad. Let's get Friday in, sure. 8:15. The Peacock game. Again, sketchy spot here in Sao Paulo. I wasn't aware, by the way, of the whole can't leave the hotel room.
Players are pissed.
I mean, I would imagine it's dangerous. Brazil, you can't be fucking around there. Eagles, Packers. You want to look at here at Philly, -2.5. Total is 49.5. Which, honestly, again, the sketchiness of these games, I say give me the over for this easily. There's going to be a lot of scoring. Who knows what these players are doing, getting past the chaperone, going out, probably riled and out there, getting drugged probably at the clubs. Who knows, dude? Green Bay, though, coming out on the scene. Jordan Love, I think, could give the Eagles defense a run for their money. Brian, I'm telling you right now, give me the Packers. I'm going to say game-ending drive here by Love. Runs it in himself on a scrambling play. Packers take the game here 34-27. What do you got?
I have to agree with you in terms of the winner here. Go, Pack, go. And, of course, historically, I have always kind of, liked to see the Packers do well. Enjoyed going to the game last year at Lambeau Field. This one is a not exactly a stone's throw from Lambeau Field, but I don't think that matters. I think the Eagles, okay, you don't put lipstick on a pig. I think there was a lot of problems there in the locker room last year.
Yep.
And swapping out DeAndre Swift for an injury-prone Saquon Barkley does not change things. So when something goes wrong in this game, what happens? Does A.J. Brown talk to Jalen Hurts? Is the locker room divided? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I know that the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game 28-13.
Absolutely love that pick, dude. Kind of crazy. Do you think we ever see an NFL game in Brazil again?
Probably not. If I had to guess, by the way, too, I didn't really say anything about the Packers in that one. Love what Jordan Love did down the stretch, no one intended. I think he only grows on that this season. This game specifically, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, all to Christian Watson, who's an up-and-coming receiver if he can stay healthy.
Absolutely. Let's freaking go. Let's now get to Sunday.
Jacobs, 80 yards.
All right, dude. It feels right this Sunday, 1 p.m. NFL on FOX, dude. Atlanta, Georgia. The Falcons taking on the Steelers here. Obviously, we know about our boy Russ Wilson. And dude, I'm going to be hot on the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Renee, let's freaking go. They got +3.5 here on the spread. Over under is 41.5. Atlanta, I know, dude. Cousins, Barnes is riled. I don't think he has it. And I think even though it's not a primetime game, the pressure is still on for him. Maybe the adjustment, new place. Atlanta, Steelers going to be hot on his ass in terms of their defense. A couple turnovers. I do like the under here at 41.5. I say Steelers here. Russ, great drives down the field. Maybe 3 passing touchdowns, rushing 1 in on his own. Yeah!
The Steel Curtain is in the building.
Absolutely. The Steelers taking this one 21-17, dude.
I like what the Steelers did, bring in Wilson. We talked about the revenge spot, all of that. But the one thing I have to say here is I do think Kirk Cousins is going to be fired up.
I know.
He is at home, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And also, I feel like the track record of Mike Tomlin early in the season recently, as Tony would say, has not been great. So just for that reason, I am going to go with the Falcons here. And I think they're going to win this game 24-17. So the Falcons covering the 3.5.
All right, yeah, I like that, dude. There we go. Falcons covering this game here. Still 1 o'clock CBS here. We're going to go to Buffalo, baby. The Bills taking on the Cards. And I would say probably a relatively easy week 1 matchup for the Bills. Josh Allen watches tape and does his homework. And the Bills, too, the great defense. I know maybe Brian over there thinks the Bills will be tapering this season. I don't think so. Buffalo given 6.5 here on the spread. Over-under is 47.5. We know, yes, Josh Allen with the turnovers, the interceptions. You could argue it does get outweighed by his offensive production. So I would imagine maybe interception here, turnover, but still nonetheless, let's say 3 passing touchdowns for him. We know he likes to rush the ball pretty emphatically as well. Maybe punches one in too for 4 TDs on the day. I say Bills take this one. Give me Bills in the over too. Again, maybe a couple turnovers, Cards capitalize. I say Bills 28, Cardinals 21. Brian,
Let
what do
me
you got?
tell you, Tony, I wish Joe Davis was on the call for this one. A CBS game. Could be an Iron Eagle spot. Could be a Kevin Harlan spot. Nevertheless, I think we have a similar outcome to last time. It was a crazy game. This time, instead of Hopkins in the end zone, Marvin Harrison Jr. Catching his first career touchdown at the horn. The Cards, 35-28 over the Bills.
Next
The
game.
upset.
The
Outright.
upset, dude. Outright.
Outright dog.
Let's go. Keep it moving along here. 1 p.m. FOX. We're back there in Chicago. They're playing the Titans here for week 1. Titans plus 3.5. Over under 44.5. Not really sure what to think about it here, but speaking of Hopkins, dude, he's there for the Titans. Says he's questionable. You'd imagine he is playing, though. And I say he's going to be the, I guess, deciding factor here. Because I really don't like Chicago, even though they're favored. I know Titans, Will Levis. Maybe he can capture lightning in a bottle. We know he was riding somewhat of a wave last year. So let's say he starts off pretty well this year. On the upset, give me the Titans here. Caleb Williams, I know. Brian likes him, but I think week 1 may take some time for him to adjust to the NFL here. Give me the Titans. I'm going to say a defensive touchdown here to end the game. Puts the Titans up 17-10 on the Caleb Williams interception thrown for a pick 6. Titans and the under, dude.
Titans cover, Bears win. And I'm not that high on Caleb. I think the talent is there, but the personality, the work ethic, all of that, how he meshes with the teammates, we'll see. But I like what they did in the offseason. They're loaded on offense, but I think it's going to take him a couple games to get acclimated here. So I think the Bears will win this game 20-17. DeAndre Swift running for $150 and a score. Caleb Williams picking up his first win as a starting quarterback in the National Football League, but the Titans covering the plus 3.5.
Okay, there we go. Let's go. Next game, still at 1 p.m. We're going to be in Cincinnati now. The Bengals taking on the Pats, one of the DTV picks here. And I'm going to follow that one. Honestly, hammering the Bengals, hammering the over, too. 40.5 seems a little low. I know you'd imagine Patriots don't score a ton. Maybe they score 10 points, but I think Bengals could put up 40 on their own, and that's what I'm going to say here. I think Bengals, like we said, Burrows makes a example out of the Pats to say, hey, man, I know I haven't been that guy, the injury, the O-line, whatever. I'm that guy now. Bengals, 38-10. They cover. We get the picks. Let's freaking go, Brian.
Bengals, 49-10.
Wow.
Joe Burrow, 5 passing touchdowns, 400 yards. So might want to get him in those daily fantasy lineups. But yeah, and I think somewhere Bill Belichick, maybe he's in the Cape chuckling at an embarrassing blowout
With the
loss,
girlfriend.
For the Pats here. So the Bengals easily covering the 8.5. Bengals looking to make it back to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, they are, dude. Let's go now to Indianapolis. Still 1 p.m. Texans taking on the Colts. A lot riding on this first game, we think, here for the Texans. We've been talking about their harder schedule here. Stroud needs to make an impact. Houston here at -3, over under 48.5. Kind of crazy. Texans says return to Indy as Colts try to snap their league-high 10-game winless streak in season openers. Do they snap it? No, dude, because Texans are winning this one easily. I think they're covering the 3 points for sure. I know Colts, Richardson, I know the talent's there. I like it. But again, I think for him in the game one spot, hasn't played a ton, clearly. You know what happened last year. Give me Stroud, pick it up where he left off. Throwing for over 300 yards easily, a couple throwing TDs, working the pocket, dude. Texans win this one. I'm going to say 27-21. So that is they cover, and it is just at the under, Brian. Let's go.
All right. When I look at this game, it reminds me of a game that happened actually when me and Matt were in Laurel Hall Eastern senior year, a complete shootout between the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning, opposed by Tony Romo. I believe the final score might have been 52-49. I think we're going to see that type of scoring here. But I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you here, Tony. Texans are going to win, but they're not going to cover. They're going to go for 2 to win this game. Dalton Schultz towing the line to get the game-winning 2-point conversion here. I'm going to say the Texans over the Colts, 36-35. What a game.
Wow, what a game. What a life, dude. Moving on, our next DTV pick here, Jags, Dolphins, Hard Rock. Let's go. Miami, -3.5. Total is 48.5. Would be interesting to see how the Jags have been doing in season openers, to be honest. A lot riding on here. The national title game rematch, dude. Tua, Trevor, who's going to come out on top? I know we have the Finns covering. Honestly, I don't think it's an absolute shoe in there. McDaniels, again, certainly want to make an impact here. I'm going to mirror I pick, I think. Give me Dolphins. Give me McDaniels. Give me Tua. Give me them covering as well, dude. Dolphins win this game. I'm going to say 34-28.
The Jags certainly have a lot of talent, and I think they'll be competitive this year. But I think the Dolphins, it's sour taste in their mouth the way last year ended
dude.
After such a hot start, being the talk of the NFL. But I think this is a game where right away, Hill down the field, Waddle down the field, A-Chain in space, Tua completing 70-80% of his passes. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game 28-21.
Love that. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's move along now. Still in the 1 o'clock time slot here. We're going to the Caesars Superdome, Brian. In New Orleans, the Saints, the Panthers. You said it, the -4 Panthers. What do we know? We don't know really anything. But the Saints, Carr, do not trust him. Optimistic Saints, it says here in the fucking headline here. That's really what they are. They're optimistic. It's tough picks here. I guess I'll throw Derek Carr a bone here for week 1. The Panthers weren't good last year. Bryce Young, tough, the bust. Is he? We don't know. And, of course, what about Alvin Kamara over there in the Saints? 41.5. I think it's going to be low scoring here. New Orleans do not cover, though. But give me New Orleans winning this one. I'm going to say 17-14. Field goal at some point in the fourth quarter. But nonetheless, not a ton of scoring. Saints do come home with the dub, though. Good for Carr.
All right. So not so fast, buddy. I'm going to say the Panthers, who had 2 wins last year. Something ridiculous like that. Fire Frank Reich in his first year. They bring in Dave Canales, who worked with Baker Mayfield. And I think we're going to see a different, more competitive Panther team this year. And I think in this game specifically, I think the offense will look a lot more, capable than they did all last season, because I think Canales has been working with Bryce Young, all offseason, and I think there's a reason why it was the number 1 pick in the draft. He's going to get the ball to his playmakers, whether that's Deontay Johnson, Chuba Hubbard, Adam Thielen. You get the idea. So I think the Panthers will win this game. And how about this too? I think, Bryce Young, 250, 2 touchdowns. But the Panthers win this game by the final score of 28-24. Derek Carr throwing a late fourth quarter pick 6.
Wow.
The difference in this one.
That is a killer, dude. Poor Zach. He's going to be tight about that one. Let's go next game here. Still 1 o'clock. New York Giants, their 100th season in the NFL, dude. What better way to kick it off than in East Rutherford, New Jersey, taking on the Vikings? One of the TCA picks here. Minnesota -1.5. Over-under is 41.5. TCA thinks Giants are taking +1.5 right there. Golly, dude. I think the Giants, maybe they score 10, 14 points here. Vikings have a lot to look forward to offensively. We know the usual suspects. Sam Darnold, dude. We've seen him in some season opening games here. Time comes back to me. I believe it was in East Rutherford as well when he started for the Panthers against the Jets 2 seasons ago. Took them down. I foresee that here with Darnold, here with the Giants, dude. Give me the Vikings winning this game. 21-10, easy money for me. Vikings and your under, Brian.
20-3 Vikings. Sam Darnold stomping on the Giants logo, even though
That's
he cited the Jets. You get the picture. But this is going to be a very long season for the Giants. I know Lonnie feels disrespected. But
Oh, yeah.
Jones sucks. And I just think there's a lack of talent. Excited to see what Neighbors does. I think they're weak at running back with Singletary now. So I think it's going to be a long season, a season where they don't score many points, and that's why they get blown out here 20-3 at home.
Absolutely love that. Let's freaking go now. Moving across to the 4:05 p.m. time slot on CBS. You can see the Chargers taking on the Raiders. LA -3. Total is set at 40.5. Brian. Barbara, road to the Chargers here. Obviously, a lot going on with him, too. The scandal still. Can't do college, doesn't matter. NFL, whatever, dude. A lot of noise there. Nonetheless, Herbert comes out, I think, on top this week. I know not a lot here on the spread. Vegas +3. Obviously, Chargers minus. So give me Chargers. I would say kind of a decisive victory here. The more I think about it, I don't care. Dude, give me the Chargers. Like I said, Herbert's going to be dominant. I think, again, the quarterback matchup is in favor of the Chargers, possibly the coaching matchup as well here. Chargers take this one. I think game-ending drive, Herbert ends up with maybe a 35-yard passing touchdown to who doesn't matter, dude. Excuse me. They go on to win 27-21. So that puts you Chargers in the over, Brian.
Wow. I am so conflicted on this one because I like with Minshew. I feel like it gives him a little stability at quarterback. But then again, I just feel like Harbaugh has been really installing his system, all offseason with the Chargers. They've really lacked identity and really any type of fan base in Los Angeles. Maybe a future move back to San Diego. Who knows? Newport Beach wouldn't be a bad option as well if we had the infrastructure. Anyhow, you look at the receivers, Joshua Palmer. You got the rookie Lad McConkey, last year's underwhelming first-round pick Quentin Johnson. But I think Herbert does have ability if his offensive line, including star left tackle Rashawn Slater, stay healthy with a solid defense. I think they're going to be competitive this year. So I'm going to say Chargers in a nail-biter, 24-21. Jim Harbaugh's first win in the NFL in a dozen years, Tony.
Wow, dude. Let's go. Keep it moving along here now. Still 4:05.
10 years, actually, my bad. Either way.
Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington, dude.
Lurking,
dude. The Seahawks taking on the Broncos, who are riding into Seattle. Excuse me here. Bo Nix. He throws the football over 60 miles per hour, dude.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Maybe you should be a pitcher.
Dude. He's taking on Mike McDonald's Seahawks here. And I got to say, I can't see the Broncos losing this one. We were mentioning the Seahawks yesterday, far from the Legion of Boom. We understand the receivers, Metcalf, Lockett here listed as questionable, but you'd imagine he starts as well.
Smith, Njigba, DK Metcalf, Noah Fant, Kenneth Walker. Just not so fast.
Really, dude? All right. Well, give me the upset here. Broncos are +6, over to 41.5.
Off the bench.
I don't think for game one here. I think they go with the Bo Nix. I think Geno Smith, I don't know, man. We've seen him have some bad games, seen him tape it down the stretch. I think he runs into some problems here, throwing not one, not two, but 3 picks. Okay, dude, 2 of them resulting in scoring drives. The Broncos. Bo Nix says yes. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Broncos win this one. I'm going to say by the tune of 24-17. They cover, and it's the under, Brian.
No Legion of Boom, but they have the offense, and they have a capable defensive coordinator as their head coach in McDonald. So I think Geno, 350 through the air, 3 touchdowns, 2 to DK Metcalf, 1 to Jackson Smith in Njigba, Tony. And you're going to see Seattle win this game handily, 35-17.
Bang! Let's go. 425 now in Cleveland. Browns taking on America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, here on Fox. Tickets as low as 110, by the way. Cleveland, -2.5 here in the spread. 40.5 is set at your total. I don't know, dude. I just think the Browns do not stand a chance. I think they're going to absolutely crumble. I don't know why.
Oh, this is the Brady game.
I don't know, dude. I don't know why. Cowboys only 2.5 here. It doesn't really matter. I think Cowboys win by at least 2 touchdowns. Cowboys 27-10. Watson ice cold. Browns, what are they doing?
Yeah. This is so tough. No, in all seriousness, I don't know what to do. I mean, I think because I just think about Dallas choking, but then I think about Deshaun Watson.
I just don't see it.
Even with the addition of Judy, is he going to step up? So I guess Dallas getting Diggs back from injury as well.
There's going to be so much pressure on him.
Motivated here. So I'm going to say Dallas will win this game. A very tight game here, Tony. But Dallas victorious 20-17. 2.5 points spread?
Yes, 2.5,
okay, so
dude.
Dallas covering the +2.5 there.
Let's freaking go, dude. We're not even in midseason form here. First frenzy, that's right. Getting through it though. Still 4:25. The final time slot at the 4 o'clock hour. The Bucks at Raymond James Stadium, Brian, are taking on the Commies. Tampa Bay -3.5, 42.5 for that total. Honestly, I think it's another situation. It's like, I'm seeing, Tampa Bay -3.5. They're given damn, dude. I think it's Tampa Bay by a long shot here. Baker picking up where he left off. He had a great, I know, ended in a loss, but a great playoff game last year. He put it all out there on the field, and he wants to do it again this year, bro. Fuck the Commanders. They suck. T-Bay, dude. They got it out here. They scored 28. Washington 21. Baker fucking riled for the year, baby. Watch out for him. The dog. Bucks and the over.
Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels makes an impression. First start of his career. And you know what? I wasn't going to do it, but we've seen guys burst on the scene before. Is this similar to RG3 against the Saints in his rookie year? What was that, 2012? Talking about a dozen years ago. Jaden Daniels, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 combined touchdowns, 1 through the air. One on the ground, 3 through the air. You're going to see Washington win this game. The upset on the road, first career victory for Daniels, first win as the Commanders head coach for Dan Quinn, 28-21.
Absolutely love that there. Good
Future
for you, dude.
Hall
Good
of
for
Famer.
them. Yeah,
He
dude.
loves potato chips.
All right, let's go here now. We'll restart the music. Hold on, I got to reset the music. Reset the music, dude. Get some music, dude.
How'd you get some music?
Can I just get some music, dude? Here we go. There it is, dude. Prime time, 8:20 p.m., dude. NBC. Chris Collinsworth, dude. In Detroit, Michigan. America's hardest working city, the Lions, baby, taking on the Rams. Brian said it. One of the more exciting playoff matchups and games I saw last season. Detroit, -4.5. Your total is 52.5. I think our highest total on the week, dude, which is
Makes
pretty
sense.
crazy, but it does make
Rams
sense.
without Donald.
The quarterbacks, dude. The
quarterbacks,
offenses.
the
Puka Nacua,
receivers,
the receivers,
St. Brown,
dude. Oh, my God.
Gibbs,
The running backs,
Montgomery,
dude. The coaches.
Blake
All right.
Corum, Tony.
The Motor City, dude.
Kyron
Things
Williams.
are going to be firing
Sunday
on
Night
all
Football.
cylinders, baby. No doubt. What a matchup we see here. And I do think the fact that we're in Detroit, home field advantage here, I think that does play a factor for the Lions. I know maybe it's obvious to some, but not to most. Give me Detroit here. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown does have 2 receiving touchdowns. Maybe Montgomery puts one in as well on the ground. Who knows? But I will say in a tight game, I do think Detroit cover. They win by a touchdown. Does it go over? I don't think so. I think 28-21. Let's go, dude. Lions, big defensive stop there towards the end. Rams do not get it done. Lions are 1-0 to start the year off. Give me the Lions and the under, Brian.
You remember back to the playoff game, Rams late settling for that field goal instead of going for the touchdown.
Yep.
This time they get the score to win this game late. I'm going to say Puka Nacua.
Wow.
With 20 seconds remaining, the 35-yard touchdown for Matthew Stafford as the Rams get their revenge in the Motor City, 28-24. And just like that, that is your football frenzy. And may I add, the first of many this season in the National Football League.
That's right, dude. What a time. What a time. What a life.
Time
dude.
to
It
be
really is.
alive. Before we do a baseball sprint, Tony, we just have a comment here. Lego my ego saying penalties killed the Ravens 5 yards at a time. I guess that's what you get when your whole line doesn't play any preseason games at all.
Yep.
But a win is a win. Let's fucking go Chiefs Kingdom. So it looks
Wow,
like
dude.
we have a Chief fan in the building.
Love to see that, don't you, Brian?
Listen, I mean, there's a lot to like if you're a Chiefs fan, that's for sure. I wish I was fortunate enough to be rooting for a football team that was in that solid of a place. Like, sure, we're excited about the Jets, the pieces are there, but there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think there is no uncertainty when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, dude.
So I'm excited for football. Horseshoe on Sunday should be crazy.
It will be crazy. Week 1's gonna be packed.
It's gonna be packed.
Especially that night game is sick.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go. We have primetime game.
Yeah, you can.
Collinsworth, dude.
Collinsworth.
He was unbearable last night, by
Joe
the way.
Green
Dude.
texted me, literally. I did not miss Collinsworth.
Dude, and of course, too, like, you got to think about what the Baltimore defense is looking at. And then, Derrick
Patrick
Henry. Man.
Mahomes.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
What he does, a
Dude.
matriculator of the football.
Oh, my
we
God.
could go on
dude.
and on and on, but instead, we go on to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one in the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeouts.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So no Yankee game yesterday, so no dismay
No Met games.
today. No Met game as well. Braves win, woohoo, or lose, whatever, woohoo for Tony.
It is woohoo for everybody.
But it's the Windy City for the Yankees. It's now or never. It's 3 games that, oddly enough, start at 2:20 p.m., including today. So Tony's 2:22 would come into play here. Anyhow, Luis Gil's returned to the mound. So it's Gil Wicks at Wrigley Field. Saturday, you're going to see Clark Schmidt make his anticipated return to the rotation, a 2.52 ERA this season, going up against Assad. And then the Sunday matinee featuring a pitching matchup of Garrett Cole and Jameson Taillon. So former teammates in Pittsburgh, former teammates with the Yankees. Taillon has rebounded after a very tough start to his season. And Cole looking to work on his 6 scoreless innings from last time out. So let's go. I mean, we have to win 2 out of 3 here. I know the Cubs have been playing well. But that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else to add there. Dominguez, yes, he should be on the team. We're probably still have to wait a little more for that. Whatever. But I think there's enough on this team to do it. And it's interesting to see that first save situation. Is it Canely? Is he the one getting the ball in the ninth? Where does Clay Holmes pitch? Does Clay Holmes not pitch for a week or two? So there's a lot to be determined there with the bullpen. But it's now or never. And you just have to hope that it is right now, Tony. So that's all I need to add before we jump right into another frenzy here. But Mets, what's the deal this weekend?
Mets, tonight, Minaya against, I forget who the guy is for Cincinnati. He's an opener, though. He should be getting absolutely popped against Cruz. And then we have Quintana, of course, tomorrow against a no-name, probably another opener. And then Severino to end it on Sunday for the 1:40 early game against a little guy named Julian Aguilar, dude. A young buck from Long Beach, California. Again, I mean, if you're the Mets right now, obviously you're hyped because you're tied with the Braves there for the third wild card spot. Cincinnati here, you want to continue your 7-game win streak, make it a 10-1. Right now you have the highest win streak in the league, so you're hyped about that. With the way the bats have been hitting, you'd imagine even if Quintana gives up like 4, in a tough start, or Minaya gives up 3, I mean, you should be hammering the Reds here. And you need to, dude. Like, let's freaking go. I'm actually not sure who the Braves are playing this weekend. But listen, they fudged one for you as the Rockies stole one from them last night. So let's freaking go, dude. Who knows? Maybe the Braves taper a little bit too. You get a few games on them, like as they take on, I think maybe Toronto. Looks like Toronto, 3 games set at home too. Fried, Schwellenbach, and Chris Sale, so they're best guys in the rotation. You gotta at this point just maintain course and just keep going like blow for blow with the Braves. Like, you can't be tapering right now, dude.
Matthew Ryan says, "Let's go Reds," and you know what I say?
That's
Tony,
fucking ridiculous.
Let's have a full-on, this time abbreviated, baseball frenzy.
You know the deal. I was just talking about it, bro. The Mets, the Reds. Fuck Matthew Ryan, dude. Wow. He's going down. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Let's go Reds. It's so ridiculous, dude. You know the deal here. Manaya's been killing it, having a best year, coming off a shutout start. And then before that, giving up 3 runs, which is fine. And that's what I expect from him tonight. Honestly, I expect from him tonight 7 innings, 3 earned runs, maybe 10 Ks, 9 Ks, sitting around there, getting the job done. The bullpen's been great. Anyone being put out there has been setting up Diaz, the speed, doesn't even matter. Not even being a safety trade, but not even use him. Maybe throw in Reed Garrett, save him for tomorrow. Why not, dude? Like I said, with the way the bats have been hitting, I don't care. Ellie De La Cruz, bat 253, 22 home runs, 3 ribbies. Stop it, dude. The speed in the bags, fine. Whatever, dude. Alonso getting his 32nd home run. Lindor, maybe a 3 for 5 night. Nimmo comes out of a slump. Who knows? I mean, let's freaking go, dude. Who knows? And then this is with Alvarez not even hitting the ball well. So the ceiling is not even to the max yet for the Mets right now, as they're completely firing on all cylinders. Riley's shaking in his pants. Red Sox record sucks. And we know Matthew Ryan is scared. Mets make it 8 in a row tonight, dude. 8. They win this game. I'm going to say 7-3. Mets and the over, Brian.
All right. So Luis Gil, we mentioned, back in the rotation off the injured list. Would like to see him in the bullpen, but that's a different story. So I think, they're not going to work him too much here. Maybe he throws 75, 80 pitches, whatever. But I think he's going to come out firing. So it might be 5 innings, 10 strikeouts. And I think the Yankee offense riled to be back at Wrigley, Tony. I think you're going to see Stanton, Judge, and Soto all go yard. And we know when that happens, usually winning. And I think that's what happens here as the Yankees take game 1 in this series by the mark of 7-3.
Absolutely like it there, Brian. Next game here, we're going to Atlanta. That's right. I'm betting with the heart right now. I don't even care, dude. Max Fried's on my fans team. I don't even care. All right, let's go Mets. Let's go Blue Jays here. They're plus 145 on the money line, so plus money. Let's fucking go, Josh. Over-under is 7.5. Kevin Gausman, dude, on the mound, 12-10 record. Interesting, 4.07 record. Tough, rocky start to the year, but has been pitching well as of late. Fanned 10 Angels in Anaheim, and also gave up only 2 runs over 8 innings against Baltimore in a win, dude. So let's go. I think this, out of any game of the series, Gausman gives the Blue Jays the best chance to win. I think pitchers duel, Fried, Gausman do well, and why not? I'll give Vladdy a, let's say, top of the 9th, dude, like 3-run homer, puts the Blue Jays up 5-2. Blue Jays close it out. Braves are scared. And now Mets after tonight, outlier wild card team. Let's freaking go, Brian. What's your next game?
All right. So next game up here, a live dog. So Jay, if he wants a pick of the night, if he's with us, Tampa plus 120 at Camden Yards. Shane Bies versus Dean Creamer. And I think the Rays, listen, I think they're going to give the Orioles a little tough test here. They are not the Chicago White Sox, and that's who Baltimore just took 2-3 from. So I think we're going to see the Rays win a tight one where their pitching is just outstanding, and that's the difference. Rays 3-2. Rays in the under.
All right, last game, third game here for me. Best game. Why not, dude? Give me the Phillies. They're in Miami. They're minus 225. Zach Wheeler, our boy, is pitching. The man who should still be in the Mets. Doesn't really matter. Over 7.5 here. Marlins suck. Edward Cabrera, not a good pitcher. 3-6, 5.3 ERA. We know about Zach Wheeler. We know about the lack of offense. And I'm going back to the well here with this pick as I picked the Phillies yesterday. Will we get the over in this one? Because we didn't get it yesterday. Probably not. Zach Wheeler, complete game shutout. Probably. Nice little prop bet for you, Matthew Ryan. Phillies win. I'm going to say 4-0. Phillies in the under.
All right. So third game, final game. Somebody that's on a couple of my fantasy teams here. We are going to go with Bryce Miller and the Mariners. Obviously teetering on 500 here, but Miller has had a great year. 3.30 earned run average, going up against Eric Fetty. Started out with the Nats and went to the Cards. So similar teams record-wise, but I think you're going to see Randy Arozarena, a 5th-inning grand slam. Mariners 4-1. Miller, 7 shutout innings, striking out 9, just like that. That is your baseball frenzy, Tony. Oh my God, I need to come up for air.
Honestly, dude. It's funny how like bread and butter that baseball frenzy feels though.
Yeah.
Like pick anything, dude.
Yeah. No, this is great. And it is really an additional element with football. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it because I feel like, especially when it's a baseball off season, me and you just start talking about random baseball stuff. And we always say like, oh, it could go on forever. But there is something too about football where you feel like you could go on forever as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So many teams, so many quarterbacks, so many talented players, so many intriguing matchups, so many storylines.
Yeah, even like the coaches too. You talk way more about coaches, for NFL too.
Than any other sport.
Yeah, really. So it is. It does cause for a lot of conversation, a lot of thought, dude. I can't wait till we're in the swing of things, primed, mid-season form for football.
Week 18, Tony.
Wow, dude.
I'm putting you on the spot here. Any like favorite game of the weekend
for football?
Yeah. You can include Monday too. I don't know if that's too obvious of an answer.
I mean, that would be the obvious answer. I guess favorite game. I mean, I am so stoked to see what Baker Mayfield looks like. But I also love the primetime rematch, dude.
It's hard to not say that one. And I actually was just going to take a quick look here because that is kind of what I was thinking. But then it seemed like it was, a little too obvious.
Yeah. Texans Colts is cool too. I would love to see what Richardson does.
Yeah, no, I would say that's up there for me, and honestly, Steelers Falcons because both teams really trying to take a step forward here and have something sustainable to build on. And it's like just a lot of questions like what's Cousins going to look like coming off the Achilles? Is there a special package for Penix, Tony? Does Bijan go crazy? Does Russ look like that his head is out of his ass for once?
Hopefully, dude.
So we will see.
Kind of crazy, like the lack of juice, at least for me anyway, surrounding tonight's game.
Yeah.
And I know it's a good matchup too, but I just think the fact that
Brazil, they botched
Friday
it.
night doesn't seem
Stop.
right in
Just-
Brazil.
You're forcing it. Franchise
Yeah.
mode, Madden. We've talked about it.
And I think now the NFL has like the most international games out of any
Yeah.
league
and
or whatever in
Goodell just earned another
America.
$5 million.
Yeah, like give me a break, dude. By the way, 872 gets you to walk in the door.
Yeah,
Sao Paulo,
kind of
dude.
crazy, but there's no. That's why they take advantage too, because there's no product there, so everyone wants to go. We get it, okay. But yeah, I don't like teams getting home games taken away. This is such a good matchup,
And week 1 too. Like,
Yeah.
imagine like you're an Eagles or Packers like season ticket holder.
Yeah.
And it's week 1, and
Oh.
okay. No.
Yeah.
Do they like if you're season ticket holder, you don't get a ticket for this, right? Like, there's no way.
I don't think so, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, I just think that's one thing that they could fix. But
yeah.
we'll see. So big weekend, upon us. Obviously, big show at the Horse Show on Sunday. Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
As well as a couple more on your Downtime TV channel today.
That's right.
Starting with Michael, we said at 4.
4 p.m. The Hole.
The Hole at 4.
Yeah, dude.
The Binge at 8. And Tony hammered by 9:30. Let's go.
Oh, well, yeah, probably, dude. Already brought the beers, got them in the fridge
What's that?
for the show. I got Coors Banquet beers and
Nice.
then like these Pilsners that are like these German beers that are pretty solid.
Okay.
So riled, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely riled.
Riled up. But what a show we had today. Really appreciate everybody who contributed and who continues to comment, like,
That's
and
right.
subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jane. Costume the merch at downtimetv.com.
Buy it.
We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go,
Let's go,
Yankees!
Mets!
And we will see you on Sunday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.